Welcome back to Friendly Fluency, the podcast where we help you build the skills and the mindset for English fluency. I'm David.
And I'm Anna. So happy to be back. David, I was looking at my calendar and I realized Thanksgiving is almost here.
Ah, yes, the official start of the holiday season in America. Turkey, football, and family.
Exactly. But it got me thinking. I know about Thanksgiving, but I don't really know the story. I feel like many of our listeners are probably in the same boat. We know the modern traditions, the food, the parade, but the why is fuzzy.
Fuzzy is the perfect word for it. It's one of those holidays everyone celebrates, but not everyone knows the full, complex story. It's a mix of myth, tradition, and historical fact.
See, that's what I mean. I have so many questions. Can we do a Friendly Fluency history lesson today? I want to understand this holiday from the beginning.
I think that's a fantastic idea. It's a huge part of American culture, and understanding it is great for conversation. Where do you want to start?
Okay, first question, the big one. Where did it all begin? I've heard stories about pilgrims and Indians, but it sounds more like a children's story.
It's a good place to start because it is a mix of story and fact. The event most Americans learn about is the Feast of 1621 in a place called Plymouth, Massachusetts.
The pilgrims, right? Why were they there?
Exactly. The Pilgrims were English settlers, religious separatists, who had sailed from England on a ship called the Mayflower, seeking religious freedom. They arrived late in 1620, and that first winter was brutal.
How bad was it?
It was terrible. It's sometimes called the starving time. They were not prepared for the cold, and food was scarce. By the spring of 1621, about half of the original 100 or so passengers had died.
Wow, that's not a very happy story. How did they go from that to having a feast?
They didn't do it alone. In the spring, they had critical contact with the local Native American tribe, the Wampanoag. In particular, a man named Tisquantum, or Squanto, who had learned English from previous explorers, taught them how to survive in their new environment.
Taught them what?
He taught them how to plant corn, which was a new crop to them, how to fish in the local rivers, and which wild plants were safe to eat. He was essentially the difference between life and death for them.
So the feast was a thank you to the Wampanoag.
It was. After that spring and summer, thanks to the help they received, they had their first successful harvest. It was a true moment of abundance. So the governor, William Bradford, organized a celebratory feast to give thanks for their survival and their new crops. He invited the Wampanoag chief, Massasoit, who came with about 90 of his men.
90 men! That's a big party. What did they eat? Was it turkey, like today?
This is a big myth. We don't know for sure. Their records mentioned wild fowl, which could be turkey, but also ducks or geese, and venison, deer, which the Wampanoag brought. They also likely ate shellfish, eels, and the corn and squash they had just harvested, but probably no pumpkin pie or mashed potatoes.
Okay, so that explains the 1621 story. But you said that's not the whole picture. Why is it called Thanksgiving? And why is it in November?
That's the next big piece of the puzzle. That 1621 feast wasn't called Thanksgiving. It was just a harvest celebration. The idea of a day of Thanksgiving was a separate, older Puritan tradition, usually a religious day for fasting and prayer to give thanks for something specific, like the end of a drought.
So from 1621 all the way to today, what happened?
For over 200 years, it was sporadic. Different colonies and states celebrated days of Thanksgiving on different dates. It wasn't an official, unified national holiday until 1863.
1863? That's so much later. What was happening then?
The American Civil War. The country was literally splitting apart. President Abraham Lincoln was looking for anything to bring the nation together, to promote a sense of unity.
So the holiday was a political move?
In a way, yes. He was heavily lobbied by a writer named Sarah Josepha Hale, who had been campaigning for decades to make Thanksgiving a national holiday. Lincoln saw the value in it. He issued a proclamation declaring the last Thursday in November as a national day of thanksgiving and praise. He used that 1621 story of Pilgrims and Native Americans coming together as a powerful origin myth for the nation.
So he combined the 1621 Harvest Feast with the religious idea of giving thanks to create the holiday we know.
Precisely. He was trying to give a divided country a shared tradition and a moment to reflect on their blessings, even in the middle of a terrible war.
Okay, my mind is blown. That is a much more complex history than I thought. So let's fast forward to today. What does a modern Thanksgiving look and feel like?
This is the part most people are familiar with. It really comes down to 4 things: food, family, football, and parades.
Okay, let's start with the most important one, food. It's all about the food, right?
The meal is the main event. It's the centerpiece of the entire day. And you were right earlier. The main dish is the roasted turkey.
Why turkey?
It's a large bird. It can feed a whole family, and it's seen as a uniquely American bird. But the turkey is just the star. The supporting cast is just as important.
You mean the side dishes? I've heard about some strange ones.
Some are amazing. You have stuffing or dressing, which is a bread-based bake. You have mashed potatoes with gravy. You have cranberry sauce, which is a sweet and tart jam that cuts through the richness.
Okay, that all sounds normal. What about green bean casserole?
Ah, a classic. It's green beans mixed with cream of mushroom soup and topped with fried onions. And even more famous, sweet potatoes with marshmallows on top.
Wait, marshmallows? Like the candy? On potatoes? Is that good?
Good is subjective. It's a tradition. And for dessert, it is almost a law that you must have pumpkin pie.
So it's a huge feast. What about the family and parade parts?
For many people, this is the most important part. Thanksgiving is the busiest travel day of the year in America. People fly thousands of miles just to be home with their families for this one meal. The day starts early. People wake up to watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade on TV.
The one with the giant balloons, right?
That's the one. Giant balloons of cartoon characters floating through New York City, with marching bands and Broadway performances. It's a huge spectacle. And it always ends with
Santa Claus.
Santa! Isn't that Christmas?
Yes! The parade and Santa's arrival is the unofficial kickoff to the Christmas season. And that leads right into the next day.
Black Friday. The biggest, craziest shopping day of the year, the day after Thanksgiving. It's a whole other kind of tradition, but it's all part of the holiday weekend.
And football?
Yes, after the big meal, everyone is full. We call this a food coma. They sit on the sofa and they watch professional football games that are on TV all day.
Okay, so food, family, parades, football. But what about the thanks part? With all this activity, do people still actually give thanks?
Yes, absolutely. This is the heart of the holiday, and it's my favorite part.
So it's not just about eating until you fall asleep.
It's not just about that. For many families, there is a very important tradition, usually right before the meal starts. They go around the table.
What does that mean?
Everyone at the table, family, friends, guests, takes a turn to say one thing they are thankful for from the past year.
Oh, that's lovely. What kinds of things do people say?
Anything, really. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for my new job and my dog. Or simply, I'm thankful that we are all together at this table.
So even with all the modern noise, the thanks part is still at the center of Thanksgiving.
Exactly. It's a moment to pause, reflect, and express gratitude. And that is the real spirit of the holiday, from 1621 all the way to today.
That was so much clearer. Thank you, David. I finally feel like I understand it. I think it's time for our friendly vocab focus to help us talk about this.
A great idea. This is where we break down those key words so you can use them. Today's first word is pilgrim. Pilgrim.
A pilgrim is a noun. It's the specific name for the English settlers who founded the Plymouth colony in 1621.
For example, the Pilgrims celebrated the first Thanksgiving with the Wampanoag tribe.
Our second word is harvest.
Harvest can be a noun or a verb. As a noun, it means the time of year when crops, like corn, wheat, and vegetables, are gathered from the fields.
For example, the 1621 feast was a celebration of a successful harvest.
Our third word is a great one, feast.
A feast is a noun. It's not just a meal, it's a large, special meal with a lot of food, usually for a celebration.
For example, the family prepared a huge Thanksgiving feast with a turkey and 5 side dishes.
Our fourth word is abundance.
Abundance is a noun. It means having a very large quantity of something, much more than you need.
For example, after the successful harvest, the pilgrims had an abundance of food.
Our fifth word is tradition.
Tradition is a noun. It's a belief or behavior that is passed down from generation to generation. It's something people have done for a long time.
For example, watching football on Thanksgiving is a popular American tradition.
Our sixth word is unity.
Unity is a noun. It means the state of being joined together or being in agreement.
For example, Lincoln hoped the holiday would promote national unity during the Civil War.
And our final word, the most important one, gratitude.
Gratitude is a noun. It's the feeling of being thankful and wanting to show appreciation. It's the feeling behind thanks.
For example, going around the table to say what you're thankful for is an expression of gratitude.
Try to use one of those words this week. Maybe you can tell someone about a holiday tradition you have.
And that's all the time we have for today. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Friendly Fluency.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a lesson.
This is David.
And this is Anna. Thanks for listening, and see you next time. Bye.